Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel of audible oddities of things that have happened to me in my life and the other crazy things that shall ensue in the future. Today's video is going to be about concerts, to be more precise, I guess. Things that have not really happened to me as a result of the concert itself, but more things that have happened as a result of the staff at said venue that concert is being held at. Okay, so as the title suggested when you clicked on this video, it's all about Metric. Metric is a band. You've probably seen some of their work in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And so this was held at a place called the Fillmore, which is a theater venue concert hall in Denver, Colorado. I think there's a few other Fillmores elsewhere, but that I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look that up. But anyways, so this is more about how staff was towards me at the Fillmore. It has nothing to do with the band at all. The band was amazing. It's just the venue and the staff sucked. Alright, so how this first started out was that the area that this was in, my signal on my phone really wasn't working very well. So my digital ticket, because yeah, this place does digital tickets, not physical actual paper tickets, was not working correctly. So I could not get the app to open that had my ticket on it. And I was trying really hard to get it to do that, and it just wasn't doing it. And I told the person, because I could actually get into my email and show the receipts for the ticket. So I told the person at the door, oh, I can just bring up my email and show you the invoice, and that wasn't acceptable. They had to actually see a physical ticket. So that way you actually did pay to go see the show. And because the digital ticket, you know, is this multicolored oscillating ticket that, you know, has an alternating QR code so it can't be copied or transferred to somebody else or screenshotted for, you know, obvious reasons. And it was kind of frustrating with trying to get it to work, because it's pretty much, you know, oh, you don't get it to work, then you're not going to get to see the show. So I had to stand in a very particular spot in the courtyard right off of Colfax Avenue, right out in front of the Fillmore, trying to get this thing to work properly. Finally, I was able to get a signal where I was able to pull up that ticket. The only other option would have been to see if they had a working Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi that I could use, which they have Wi-Fi at the Fillmore, but not for public use. Why is that? Is it so that people can't actually bring up their digital ticket and show you that they actually paid? Is that why? Or is it for some other nefarious reasons? The world may never know. And the other option besides that would be to see if somebody had a mobile hotspot that I could have just piggybacked off of, you know, and brought it up that way. But got it to work, so I was able to go into the show. Here's where all the craziness starts. Okay, so the first thing that ended up happening that could have probably been a little bit less problematic than it had to be was treatment of myself based on what staff was treating me as an underling, because I had a standard ticket, which meant I had to stay in the pit with all the other bodies. And I thought it was really weird, because you would think that the ticket where you pay to be in the pit, where you're right up against the stage, where you can clearly see the band playing, would probably be the best place to be. But it's actually the cheapest ticket you can get, oddly enough. There's this foyer that's up above the pit, and then there's this other upper area above that. Okay, the foyer really just has places for people to eat, mingle, talk, reminisce, and things like that. So I'm getting a bit crowded right before the show started, and there was also an opener before the show started. And I don't know why in the heck there's always an opener at every concert show that I've been to, because, you know, I didn't pay to see opener. I paid to see Metric, not opener. So I don't know why they set things up like this, where they force you to watch and listen to a band that's really subpar mediocre prior to the actual good band playing. I mean, to me, they should just reverse it and have it be after the good band that you went to go see plays and they have closer. and then closer plays out the other band and plays out the people leaving. That would make more sense to me. Comment below, let me know if that actually makes more sense to you too, because I'd love to know. And so that's one thing I didn't like about the Fillmore, is because we had like I said, we had to listen to opener first, and then the show started, and here's where the big ball of wax really starts to get unveiled. Alrighty, so too many people in the pit. I'm getting a bit crowded, so I kind of need to get like a little bit of elbow room, some fresh air. So I walk up onto the foyer, and there's this little area over in the corner that kind of like overlooks the stage. And no place to sit, just got to stand there. It's like right next to the pit, like 3 feet above the pit. So I walk over there, and there's this railing, you know, I kind of like lean forward on the railing and stuff. There's other people there, mind you. Okay, and then what happens? Person, staff, you know, kind of somewhat reminded me a little bit of Davros, you know, from Doctor Who, you know, kind of like big kind of bulk guy sitting in a mobility scooter kind of thing. So the physique isn't Davros, it's the mobility scooter idea that it's Davros, you know, and also the way he like acted when I came over and just stood within like about 6 feet from him. And he kind of like gives me this stare, you know, and I'm, you know, the kind of stare you're thinking about, you know, is kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Up, Kevin, when he locks eyes onto, Mr. Pickardson or whatever the heck the guy's name is, and he like this, the body moves, but the head and the eyes stay locked onto you. That's exactly what this guy did. The head and eyes just stayed locked, the head didn't move, but then he turns the mobility scooter, and the entire lower half of his body just made this complete, almost 180 to align his body with the direction that his head and eyes were facing. And I got so freaking unnerved and creeped out by that, because my head, the way I was thinking, was freaking Davros, you know, even though he was acting like Kevin in Up. It was like, what the F, man? This is so freaking weird. So I say to him, I'm like, is it okay to stand here? And he doesn't say a word. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm kind of like cross my arms, kind of like trying not to look at him and stuff. And he keeps kind of like moves the mobility scooter closer, you know, so he's kind of getting like right up against him, where the mobility scooter's like almost touching my leg, and I'm thinking, I almost feel like asking the guy, like, you have a problem? I mean, like, is it okay to stand here? So I ask again, is it okay to stand here? And he's like, no, you know, if you ever, and the way he said no, you know, kind of reminded me of the way that Slovakian guy says no in The Burbs. If you've ever seen that, it's a Tom Hanks movie. I haven't seen it. It's a really good movie. Good for Halloween. You should go check it out too. It's kind of like Mr. Kopech. No, you know, kind of like that. I'm like, okay, dude. I was like, all right, I'll be on my merry way. And so I decided I'm going to go back down to the pit where my friend is, you know, and it's kind of difficult to see where she's actually standing. You know, she's kind of like up against the front of the stage someplace and stuff. So I'm like, you know, this big, you know, open area. There's a lot of people in the pit. So I decided, okay, I'm going to like take some pictures of my Facebook. So I whip up my phone and I take a picture, and then I take a second picture. This other freaking cheeseball comes over and says to me, like, you're not supposed to stand on the stairs. I'm like, I'm not standing on the stairs. I'm standing on the very top landing of the stairs. I'm not on the stairs. I'm off to the side. You know, I'm as far over as I can get. People can walk by. And she's like, still, you're not supposed to stay on the stairs. I'm like, okay, fine, bye. So I put my phone back in my pocket, and I walk down to the pit, you know, walk back over. My friend is, you know, chilling out, you know, listening to electric and stuff, you know. So I'm down there for a little bit, and maybe not more than like 10 minutes or so. And again, I start feeling a little bit crowded and stuff, so I figured I need to get some fresh air. I need to just cool down and collect my thoughts a little bit. So I started to walk back up the stairs, and it's completely covered with people standing all about and stuff. And that lady who yelled at me to get off the steps is standing there too, and I said, like, what about them? Why don't you yell at them? They're standing on the steps. You know, I mean, like, how come they can stand on the steps, but I can't stand on the steps? I mean, I don't know. I mean, so then I go and decide, okay, I'm just going to go outside and get some fresh air, right? So I almost start to go out the wrong door, because there's two different doors. There's a door that actually leads back out onto the street, and another door leads over onto this little courtyard area that's kind of gated off to where you can like smoke and mingle and do whatever, you know. And I almost end up going out the wrong door, and then this guy kind of like this randomly stops me before I step out. And he's like, hey, you can't go out this way. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, go out and try to get some fresh air. He goes, yeah, if you go out this way, you just step out here, then you won't be able to get back in. I'm like, dude, I'm literally like standing right here. I just need to get some fresh air. This is before I actually know that there's another door I can go out that goes out into the courtyard, right? And he's all like, well, yeah, you can't come out here. You go over there. You can go through that door and you can go outside. I'm like, okay. So what I kind of do is I kind of like to inch my feet over to get like as close to the edge as I can, like when I'm talking to him at the door and stuff. And he keeps eyeballing me. He's kind of starting to put his hand out a little bit and stuff like that, you know. And I'm looking down at my feet. He's looking down at my feet too, and I'm like, my toes, the tip of my toes are like right on the freaking edge of the doorstep, you know. And yeah, he was getting ready. He was getting ready to the point where it was like, if I take one little bit of a micron step forwards, I am out of the venue. I've stepped out, and I won't be able to get back in again. You know, that's kind of how it felt. So then eventually, I was like, okay, dude. I mean, like, yeah, good. Thanks for telling me. And then I go around this other side. You know, go out that door, and I go out to the courtyard and stuff. So I'm kind of like just mingling out in the courtyard for a little bit, and called some friends and talked for a short while. A couple songs later, you know, I decided to go back inside, and I was like, all right, you know, I mean, I've been standing up all day, I've been walking around all day, so I kind of wanted to find a spot where I could sit down. And I'm almost afraid that, like, okay, I mean, gee, I've been yelled at by like 3 different people for doing nothing at all, you know, that's anywhere in context of violation of the rules, if any exist. So I'm like, okay, is it okay if I sit down on this empty couch that is right up against a pillar that other people are sitting on? Okay. So I take my chances, and I sit down. Nothing happens. And a few minutes go by and nothing happens. And I'm like, oh my god, have I finally found a safe place? A place where I can sit and listen to Metric in my own peace? Yes, I had. So I just sat there and listened to the rest of the band from that nice, comfy couch. And it was amazing. And then when the show finally ended, it was time to get out, you know, so my friend, you know, she comes back up, she sees where I'm sitting and stuff, and she's all excited and stuff, yeah, you got to see Metric and stuff. So then we were on our way out, they're all like, they make a big announcement, they're all like, yeah, once you leave, you know, make sure you got all your stuff, because once you leave, you won't be able to get back in. And as we're going out, they have both doors open, both the side for that goes out into the courtyard, and they have the other side that goes back out onto the street. And right, conveniently, right in the middle of all of this doorway abode, if that's even a word, is a pillar. And the first thing that comes to mind when I see said pillar is Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf, running around the doors like a complete idiot. So I'm gonna pell an elf. Well, I tried to anyway, so like as we're going out the door, I say to my friend, I was like, hey, you ever seen the movie Elf? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, hold on, watch this. So I start to turn back around, like after we've walked through the door, and like 2 people kind of like just put their hands up, you know, and wouldn't let me, you know, run circles around the door. And I was like, I just started laughing at the staff. I'm like, you guys are like such idiots. And I'm like, I can't believe you're so uptight over something like that. I was just gonna run circles around the doors, and I'm all like, geez, guys. I'm all like, gee, live a little. I mean, like, holy cow, you know? It's like, and I don't know what it is. I have not had this kind of a problem with any other venue that I've been to. Like, and I've been to theatrical shows before too, so like, you know, I mean, like even the Buell Theater doesn't have that kind of an uptight policy. If you forget something at the Buell Theater, they're going to let you back in, so you can go retrieve it. It's your property, it's your stuff, you paid for it, you're entitled to get it back, right? Right? That's what I thought, yeah, right. And it's like, you know, the same thing with shows I've seen by the theater group Family. Same deal. They had, you know, book with other venues, and you know, every single venue that I've been to, every little like theatrical show, they let you back in. If you forget something, you can go back in and retrieve it. And I think that's really cool. But for some reason, not the Fillmore. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea what it is. I mean, even at theme parks like Elitch Gardens and Lakeside, Casa Bonita, Meow Wolf, you forget something, yeah, go back in and get it. It's okay. The only places where that's not like allowed is like, you know, when you disembark an airplane. You know, if you forget something, you have to have one of the security guards or the gate guards go back and onto the plane to get your item for you, which makes sense. You know, that makes sense. But at the Fillmore, it's like, can't do it. Not today, like Miguel and Tulio said. Yeah, I have made a lot of movie references in this video. Anyways, if you like what you hear and you like what I draw, be more than welcome to like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.